What's going on, Wiley, Texas? Welcome to episode 88, season 6 of Talking Throws podcast, Texas style. I'm Coach Jason.
And I'm Coach Jeanette.
And we are Throws Coach with the track club, the Throwing Factory. You can check out our bios on thethrowingfactory.com. We also have 3 other locations. East at the Throwing Factory, ran by Coach Jarvis. West at the Throwing Factory, ran by Coach Kai. And then all the way out in Abilene, Texas, Knight Power and Performance, ran by Mr. Morgan Knight, Abilene Christian grad. If you're looking for cool apparel, go to the throwingfactory.com website. Also at that website, you can find links for Quarter Circle, forthrows.com, and for Fiber Sports, and for links for Lifting DFW as well. So that's the main search engine, the filter, everything goes through that website. Also, too, be sure on our YouTube channel to subscribe and follow, please, and even on Apple and Spotify podcasts, be sure to subscribe to that. Just give the thumbs up so you automatically get that all download. Now, I know we all have busy lives. You know, listen to it while you're in the car, listen to it, you know, while you're going for a walk or whatever you need, or if you just need to get away. That's a good way to get away, is listen to my voice. So
I don't know about that.
All right, our season 6 sponsors. Without them, we can't do what we do. Texas Track and Field Coaches Association. Man, we just got back from the Winter Clinic, and just Stuart Kantor does an amazing job with all that. All the speakers, the vendors, everything was tremendous. So we had a good time. Thanks for allowing us to attend. We had some good interviews, so we're going to be getting those out in the next couple of weeks. So you need to check out for that. Just remind everybody that the 2023 schedule is coming out. So go to TTFCA.org to find out about that. And one thing, too, that you're going to hear in his talk is the Meet of Champions has been moved to Texas State University. So we're thankful for Coach John Frazier allowing that to happen. Forthrows.com, quality implements priced right. Indoor season's about right around the corner. Right now, you can go to that site and get an indoor shot put training for basically $55. You can get a Dominator competition hard sell indoor shot put for $46. Okay, and then you can get a ATE training indoor shot puts for $50 from different sizes. So I've had a couple people, where do I get indoor shots? Where do I get indoor shots? And I believe you can even get a 6-pound indoor shot for a youth meet in an ATE training indoor. So that's a heads up at forthrows.com. Use that code TalkingThrows10 to get that discount price. Porter Circle, making throwing more accessible. Go to porter-circle.com. Use the code TalkingThrows10. Ready Up Athletic Development offers a team consulting, semi-private, strength and conditioning, also programming. That's ran by Zach Phillips. His cell is 512-507-8347. Right now, Zach's putting programs together on the website called Train Heroic. If you search on that website, basic throw strength on the website, Train Heroic, and use the code THROWS10, you're going to get 20% off the program. And then Fiber Sports. Without them, man, what can we do with Bruce? He's their guy. From a cool little carry-on to the low twister.
1K twister.
1K.
In mint condition.
Right there. And you can buy the Fiber Sports Discus at forthrows.com as well. The one thing I will say about forthrows.com, it is a family-owned business, and they truly care about bringing value and doing the right thing by the customer. But they're going to do the right thing at the end of the day. Yeah, your shipping might be a little bit more because of their location, but at the end of the day, that's going to be a quality product that your thrower's getting that's going to last for a long time. The Hills are really, really good about that. You might not get that with some vendors who are just maybe looking, you know, to get an order and get some money. So go to forthrows.com if you want to buy those Fiber Sports Discus and use that code TalkingThrows10 again. And then also to remind everybody about our YouTube channel, and be sure to subscribe to that as well. Today's guest is, clinic director for the Winter Clinic that we were just at. He just was nominated or put into the Hall of Fame for Texas Track and Field Coaches Association, and he basically runs the site, and he is Mr. Track and Field as far as I'm concerned in the state of Texas for everything track and field, from the high school level, junior high level, to the college level. He knows about jobs, he knows about meets, he knows anything and everything. Welcome to episode 88, Mr. Stuart Kantor. Oh, well, welcome. This is Coach Hayes with the Talking Throws Podcast Texas Style, and this is my lovely wife, Coach Danelle. We are live at the Winter Clinic in Grapevine, Texas, at the Great Wolf Lodge. With us today is the clinic director and also the head of the Texas Track and Field Coaches Association, Mr. Stuart Kantor. Stuart, thank you for being on.
Yes, sir. Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Well, so how many years have you been doing the clinic?
Oh God, it's about 17 years now. I was not always in charge of it.
Okay.
I sort of inherited it through a long transition, and as the sole director of the association the last 5 years, the whole thing's become our baby.
Wow. How long is the process? Are you start as soon as this over? Are you starting already to plan for next year?
No doubt about it. The board and I, through email and Zoom calls, we start looking at potential presenters. We start looking at ways to tweak it, whether it's streamlining registration, or just how to use the two rooms more efficiently.
Gotcha.
Whatever it may be, and then targeting, like we said, our presenters. We have a Hall of Fame committee that has their own bylaws and deadlines, and that then takes some time because you got to contact the Hall of Famers or potential inductees and make sure that they're good for that weekend, et cetera, et cetera. So there's a lot behind the scenes.
Gotcha.
As well as just the contract and all the the nuances of a contract that go along with an entity like the Great Wolf Lodge.
So you're juggling a lot of balls.
Yeah, we are, and then I'm not just gonna say me, but the full board.
And how many people are on the board?
There are 14 right now, and if I may, I'm gonna take a moment because we added this weekend 4 more board members.
Oh, awesome. Who are they?
That we needed to, because we needed an injection of youth.
Good.
In order for any entity to continue, whether it's a company or whatever, you need to constantly, have new employees, so to speak. So we injected some youth. Michelle Paul, head coach out of Crane.
Okay.
So that helps in West Texas. And she's a 2A coach, so it gives some representation to the smaller schools. Cody Knight, he is the head coach at McMurray University.
Oh, okay, good.
So it gives some representation to the smaller colleges because they have different needs and a different perspective and budgetary restrictions. The gentleman who spoke yesterday in the intermediate hurdles, Randy Bermea, was great high school hurdler out of the Rio Grande Valley, and he's now the hurdles coach at Harlingen.
Oh, nice.
So young, energetic, and gets us more representation into the valley. And then Coach Julius Michael, who is at Houston Episcopal, gets us SPC representation, and he's quite dynamic. His girls have won the last 2 SPC cross country state titles.
So is a board member, is it a like elected position or appointed where somebody kind of says, hey, we need to get this person on? Is that kind of the process?
Yeah, the board sort of had, I don't know whether it was some sort of telepathy, but all of us were looking at each other and it's like, I don't know why we're all thinking the same thing, but we need to add some new board members, and we want them all to be young and energetic and help us with new perspectives. Because I'm 112 years old. I'm telling you. It's from reading Benjamin Buttons. And it's you need new ideas. and you need new energy and new perspectives, and you can accomplish your end goal, but look at it from a completely fresh idea. And it's like, wow, I had never thought it, and for you, it was so easy.
Wow.
So
So what are some things going on behind the scenes that y'all may be looking on in 2023 or 2024 besides just the Winter Clinic?
well, we are moving our Meet of Champions,
Okay.
which I know involves you
Yes,
as well, because
yeah.
you have sent throwers. We were at Antonia in the last few years, and now we're going to be back on college campus at Texas State University.
Really?
So that'll be nice.
Nice.
Coach Frazier and his staff are really welcoming, well, the contracts have been signed, and it's awesome. So it'll be nice to be back on college.
Do we know the dates for that?
May 19 and 20.
Nice.
Which is a week after the UIL state meet. And
Nice.
It's a break between the college conferences.
Yeah.
And regionals.
Nice. That'll be a good time for those kids to get
Yes.
that college experience on the college run track and college throwing area as well.
And Texas State is like, you're gonna put a couple of hundred of the best athletes,
Oh
and
my
many of them under the radar on our campus. All right. Let's run with it. Let's run with it. Some other things, we're supporting Mike Green out of Gordon. He put in a proposal to reduce the hurdle length for the middle schools.
Oh, real? Okay.
Because, you look at the 100 and 110 at the high school, it's hard as a freshman or a sophomore to three-step, and the hurdle, they don't change when you move down unless you're at like a USATF where they mandated maybe 80 meters.
Yeah.
So he's trying to get UIL to help the high school kids so they can have better form and technique and actually learn how to hurdle by shortening the length.
Nice.
Something that you guys will like is we actually resumed talks a little bit yesterday with TAPS, because TAPS administrators were here about a trial period for the javelin.
Nice. Really? Nice.
The homeschool association actually has thrown the javelin at their state meet the last few years. And then obviously whenever USATF or AAU come into town, they throw the javelin.
Yeah.
And you don't have to worry about the field. You rubber tip, it's no big deal. So TAPS has re-expressed an interest, but that wasn't the reason they were here yesterday. Simply to get the lay of the land, but that was nice to hear. And we're still trying to get 8th place scoring at UIL.
Oh, okay.
To mimic what colleges
Yeah,
do.
for sure.
And TAPS and SPC, there's 70% of the country scores more than 6. So we're trying to get UIL to follow.
So just give me a big overview, how you feeling, how track and field is going in the state of Texas, and because you're a leader, we travel a lot and have people tell me about the site and that listen to our podcast or just, listen to you on YouTube and stuff like that. How what's going on with all that?
The state of track and field in Texas is incredible. I mean, every year there's always talk towards the end of the year, and mile split helps fuel some of it. Is Florida or Texas or California better? And then you stack it up, and obviously I'm biased, but I will say Texas. And you look at the kids that are competing and performing well in college. I'll still continue to say Texas. But the state of track and field is incredible. The coaches are doing an amazing job with the fundamentals, knowing what we're up against, where, you get the kids for an hour, and then sometimes a kid may not be able to show up because he's got band practice or theater or whatever, where you don't work around those at college. But the fundamentals that the collegiate coaches can then do what they need are being instilled to a great degree. What we don't want to become is complacent to where we've always done it this way, and let's just stay that way. If we can add and tweak and continue to bring in great presenters, where coaches can become even more knowledgeable from collegiate coaches and people like Vince Anderson and Bouchek Snyder. How can you even become better.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. For sure. So this is day 2 of the clinic.
Yes, sir.
Today we have, from a throwing side, we have Adam Setliff talking discus.
Yes.
Steven Sines talking shot put. Boost Nick Snyder talking plyometrics is right.
Boo's talking plyometrics,
Okay.
and Vince Anderson is doing the sprint mechanics.
Okay. Okay.
2 legends back to back, and you mentioned Setliff. You as a throws guru know a little bit more about him than I do, but 2-time Olympian.
Yes. Yeah.
And Steven Sines, I remember him throwing out of the valley.
Yeah. I think he's
great.
still 5th all time.
Yes, he's one of either 7 or 8 Texans all time in the 70-200 club.
Wow. Amazing.
So yeah,
Great guy.
that's impressive.
Now,
And
also too, you get virtual, through CoachTube, right, as well.
yes,
Who's going to be doing that?
starting Monday.
Okay, Monday.
For 4 evenings, 6, 7, 8 o'clock, there are 12 presentations.
Okay.
That if you can't be here, you can purchase the virtual package separately. Or if you were an attendee, you get the virtual package for free.
Now, how would they get the package if they didn't attend?
You go to our website, ttfca.com.
Okay.
.org, I'm sorry. And you go to the Winter Clinic page and click on the CoachTube logo.
Okay.
And just register.
Awesome.
Great speakers, Sue Humphrey, Marissa Chu, over at TCU.
John
There's
Tipton.
John Tipton up in North Texas. Yeah, there are really incredible presenters.
Wow. Wow. Also too, when in my introduction, I didn't introduce you as a Hall of Famer. So congratulations to that.
Thank you.
So, tell us about that ceremony last night and what the induction means to you personally.
The induction means that we as an association are moving in the right direction. Because it's not me, and I mentioned everybody last night on the board because I hearkened it to talking with James Barr last night, director of Texas Relays. He flew in from Tennessee to be here last night. And we came up with the analogy, it's like one of those Pat Riley with the Lakers Showtime, because he had such great talent with Kareem and James Worthy and Magic, etc. Your job is to stay out of the way and let your board members do what they are skilled at. There's so much talent amongst them, Sheldon Irvin and June and Greg. Let them do what they need to do and let me stay out of the way and do what I need to do and not mess things up. So basically, by not messing things up, I was nominated.
That's what I do. That's what I do there.
That's my 33 years of marriage also. Don't mess things up. And say, I'm sorry if I did. Yes, ma'am. But last night was even more phenomenal because one of the gentlemen that was inducted, like in other sports, it just transcends the sport. And that's John Carlos, who is one of the top 20 moments in sports history. At the 68 Olympics when, the fist were raised. And then his 68 teammate, Bob Beeman, was here to present him his award. So you're putting Bob Beeman and John Carlos here together, and it's like, I'm not sure why I should just be sitting selling popcorn. There's no reason for me to be here.
Oh, wow. That had to be a momentous occasion.
Oh, gosh, yes. You're talking to them. It's like having Willie Mays and Roberto Clemente there. It's like, I'm sorry.
Wow, that's amazing.
That was impressive.
That's amazing and stuff. So go ahead.
I was gonna say, let alone, the rest of the Hall of Fame class.
Who else was in it?
Randy Adair, a longtime high school coach here, most recently out of Dallas Highland Park. Now he's an announcer for all the University of Arkansas meets. Christy Gaines, from DISD, Stanford, Olympian, Clyde Duncan, who's legendary with Bob and John Carlos, Teron Clement
Oh, wow.
out of LaPorte, University of Florida. Ed Marcinkiewicz,
Okay.
from Texas A&M and MF Athletic, sadly passed away a year ago. We actually had an inaugural community service award named in his honor, sponsored by MF. I know I'm missing.
That's
someone.
okay.
It's early.
So did they, is it just asking, because I don't even know, did they get like, I don't want to say a shrine or anything like that? Or is there like a hall or someplace?
It's all virtual
It
right
is
now
virtual,
on our
okay.
website. We're actively looking for a place to put memorabilia that I have,
Collected?
yes, aggressively collected from not only our Hall of Famers, but the history of Texas track and field. Like I've got probably half of all Texas relays programs, which is in its 95th year, a lot of UIL programs, pictures of legendary Texas athletes, framed, many of them autographed. So at some point, we'd like to be able to house this and let someone just put it up on their walls.
Have you talked to like the Texas Hall of Fame in Waco and the Sports Hall of Fame?
We have, and they're actually getting me a quote to
Nice.
put in a display.
Nice.
So
That's amazing.
it would be a start.
That's amazing. So also too, you have a daytime job. You also coach as well, right?
Yes.
And doing all this other stuff.
The amazing thing, our entire board, if they're not retired, like Hall of Famer Barbara Krause and former coach at McMurray University, we are all teachers and coaches. So
Wow.
we're doing this for the love of it. No one makes an income. We don't make any money. It all gets reinvested back into the association to do bigger and better things. But yes, I teach and coach year 26 now at Dallas Bishop Lynch High School.
Wow.
And I coach pole vaulters and high jumpers and coach about 10 high jumpers privately in the Metroplex
Nice.
as well.
What do you teach?
Literature.
Really?
Yes, I am a writer. I am a reader. And
Have you ever published a book or anything?
8 books.
Dude, I did not know that.
8 books, about 6 of them are on track. One, and I've written a novel that I published 2 years ago.
What's the name of that?
Oi is Nothing Sacred.
Nice.
It's a sort of irreverent comedy.
Wow. Can you get it like on Amazon or someplace?
Through bearcatpublishing.com.
Okay, we'll put that in the link. Well, what are the 6 on track?
There is an autobiography that I helped write for one of our Hall of Famers. At one point, he was the world's fastest man. Had an opportunity to go into the 1960 Olympics out of the Tyler area. His name is Sid Garton, Sid the Jet Garton. So his name's on it, and I sort of, ghost wrote it for him. Working on Roy Robot Martin's autobiography with him. He was here
Currently?
last night. Yes.
Wow.
We're about 80% done.
Wow.
And then wrote one with Delis, who defected from Cuba 7-8 years ago when she was at the Drake Relays with the Cuban national.
Yeah.
And
That just happened with the discus thrower.
yes,
Recently.
yes.
Like 2 weeks, like 2 months ago.
And then Delis got American citizenship 5 years later. And I think this was about 2 years ago. And her first meet competing under the American banner was back at Drake Relays. So we wrote the story of her life and what it was like in Cuba, and then the excitement of competing for America. And that's actually up on the counter at the registration desk.
Is it okay? We'll have to check it.
Along with
What's the name of the book again?
oh God.
We'll get it. We'll get it on
My
there.
apologies on that one. My journey, I think it's My Journey to Freedom
Okay.
with Delis Caballero Vega. And then the other one is Sandy Morris, the great pole vaulter, and Demi Payne. When Demi and Sandy were in college, it was called the Year of the Vault from Vault Magazine and TTFCA, because every week they would break each other's record and all the way to the Olympic trials. And they broke their poles and got injured within like a week of it. It was just eerie how they were on a parallel path. And so I sat down with both of them extensively, interviewed them, and recapped their journey competing, not really against each other, but the media made it against each other. And so I capitalized on it by putting it together in a book.
Wow.
I
I know. Impressive, man.
Busy dude.
Yes, my wife is very patient and understanding.
For sure. Well, Janelle, I also want to take this time to thank you so much for allowing us to be part of this road, for success in Texas track and field. You have accepted us with open arms. The sponsorship for the club has been tremendous. I mean, for the podcast, excuse me.
Right.
So we just appreciate it. We appreciate you giving us your time today.
Yes, sir.
And we all have the same goal as promoting Texas track and field and getting more people to throw, but also more people to jump and to run and have more stories where maybe you can write more books.
Well, let's face it, what you're doing, what I'm doing, and all the avenues, whether it's with vendors or whomever, in the long run, it's all for the kids.
Yeah, for sure.
They have to be the ultimate winners, or what we do doesn't matter.
For sure. So thank you so much for being
Yes,
on.
sir.
We appreciate it.
Man, we want to thank Stuart for coming and sitting with us and doing our interview at the clinic. We know he was super busy and had a lot going on, and he took the time to sit and talk to us and share the behind the scenes of what goes on for the TTFCA clinic. And man, he is running around making things happen. Got inducted into the Hall of Fame.
Yes, he did.
Teaches English classes to read.
An author.
He's a grandpa and is an author. These are a couple of books. This one is called The Untold Story, One Stride Ahead, 1958. I haven't read this one, but I'm excited to look into both of these. And then this one, if you like some pole vaulting, it's about Sandy Morris and Demi Payne, and just kind of how their careers, when you say parallel each other, and the different struggles.
18 months rising the bar in the women's pole vault.
Yeah. So good books. Stuart has some others. We'll put on there. It's at Bearcat Publishing, where you can look up some of his other books. So, man, just a great guy who's kind of a jack of all trades. Anything to deal with kids as a teacher, and anything in the track and field world.
Yes, for sure. So if you see Stuart at a meet, run up and introduce yourself, because he'll shake your hand and say hello, but also thank him for what he does. We'll see y'all. Thank y'all.
Awesome. All right, so let's thank our sponsors, Texas Track and Field Coach Association. We just interviewed Stuart Kantor, talked about all that they do. You need to get on your schedule next year to go to that winter clinic. It is really good. Lots of great speakers and just lots of great networking and connections. College coaches, high school coaches, everything that's there. So go to ttfca.org. Indoor schedules are posted. Outdoor meet schedules are getting posted. So it's track season. So stay connected. Fourthrows.com, quality implements priced right. Use the code TalkingThrows10 to get 10% off. You can find indoor shot puts, anything you need on that fourthrows.com. Porta Circle, Porta-Circle. It's 80 degrees here in Texas, but at some point it will get cold.
Yeah.
You're gonna want a Porta Circle.
But also one thing too is on fourthrows.com you can actually get a Fin Flyer javelin, which I think is 300 grams or 400 grams. And so there's a lot of kids out there, especially 11, 12-year-olds, still throwing that turbo javelin, that Nerf, like a baseball and like a softball, and that's not what we need. We need them to learn how to properly hold a javelin, the mechanics of the javelin, to throw through the point, so to speak, the different grips, and what's going to be able to teach them to do that is that Fin Flyer. So as soon as you can get that in their hands, go get it done. And if you go to fourthrows.com right now, there's one listed for $99 right now, the real corded red handle Fin Flyer.
Awesome. All right. So if you're in the Austin area, go to Ready Up Athletic Development, readyupad.com. You can look at that information. So when you are in the Austin area, you want to connect with Zach Phillips, 512-507-8347. And then also look up his program under Train Heroic and go to that basic throw strength. And you use the code THROWS10 and you can get 20% off of that program. It's a great program.
Hello, Talkin' Throws Texas podcasters. I'm Bruce Caldwell. I'm here today to introduce the Fiber Sport Discus. Yes, many of you thought I only made great vaulting poles. I have been bringing quality discuses to the throwers' hands for over 40 years. First as Cantabrian USA representative, then for the past 10 years as the Nelco discus distributor. I introduced the yellow plated discus for the plastic's best durability. If your Fiber Sport discus breaks, we replace it. Our studies have reached into the science of using a wind tunnel and adding microchips to the discus to find the spin, the gravity, the flight stability of the discus. We have found it's not about rim weight anymore. It's more about creating a balanced stability to allow the discus to fly and surf the wind. Our new Fiber Sport discus is made to be selected to fit your needs, no matter the weather, no matter the conditions. Check out our discus selection guide at fibersportdiscus.com and find a dealer in your area that sells our fine product. Thank you, Jason and Janelle, for allowing me to talk with your listeners on Talk and Throws Texas Style.
And always a big shout out to Colleyville. Big Frogs of Colleyville, not the town of Colleyville, but Big Frogs.
Big Frogs of Colleyville.
Big Frogs of Colleyville. And then, like we said, go check out our website. You're starting to be track season. Middle school kids are wanting to learn how to throw. They may show up here in about a month or so and say, oh, I was kind of decent at this shot and disc. I want to get better. Give us a call. I did lessons today with some young ones. Just get them introduced to throwing. You need some great apparel or wherever you are in the Metroplex.
And then don't forget about liftingdfw.com as well. If you're wanting some personal training, some Olympic lifting lessons for your athlete.
All right. You guys have a great one.